Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam, the Science Studio here. Today we're going to be talking about the brachial artery and the anastomosis of the connected collateral arteries to the recurrent arteries. We're going to add a few more. I'm going to cover all the arteries that are coming off the brachial artery and into the ulnar and radial arteries. To start things off, just to position ourselves and orientate ourselves, the brachial artery begins right after the teres major. And when you're looking at your body anatomically, or in the anterior anatomically, you'll be able to see the teres major. You'll kind of see where it starts or where it ends at, and that's where you know the brachial artery is starting. Brachial artery supplies the bicipital brachii, and as we know, the brachial artery goes into the ulnar and goes into the radial arteries. So, to start things off, I'll talk to you all about the mnemonic. There's a mnemonic to remember all the anastomosis that goes on. SIMRPAIR. It may look threatening, but I'm going to show y'all an easier portion. I just kind of drew it out for you guys so that we can position ourselves a little bit better. But there's a simpler way to draw this. For test sake, SIMRPAIR is great to remember. The rest of this we're going to get to. I drew a midline. A good little way to think of things is there's like a midline here. You're going to have collateral arteries, and the recurrent arteries are coming back up. So, and that makes sense because it works with gravity. So the collateral arteries are going down, and recurrent arteries are pumping the blood back up or supplying muscles back up. So top half collateral, bottom half recurrent. Top half collateral, bottom half recurrent. So cool. So just to position ourselves, I'm just going a little bit. There's the humerus. This is going to be your radial side, so that's where your thumb's going to go, that's where pinky's going to go. So you'll have the radial bone and the ulnar bone. To begin things, brachial artery begins after the teres major, and our first artery is going to be the profunda brachii artery, which applies, as we know, the triceps. So you can see it wrapping around. So we're going to come down, profunda brachii. I didn't draw it for simplicity's sake, but I'll draw in the simpler model. I'll show you guys how to draw. But just to show the anastomosis, there's actually 3 branches, but I'll show you guys in a bit. You'll have the radial collateral artery, and then you'll have the middle collateral artery, excuse me. So you have the radial collateral artery, middle collateral artery. You might ask, why is it called the middle artery? Where's the other branch? That's exactly where the branch is going to go, and you have an ascending branch. You have ascending profunda brachii artery going back up. But we're not going to talk about that too much. You'll see that in the cadaver. But for test sake, remember the middle collateral artery and the radial collateral artery. So these are where the collateral's at. We're still breaking it down. I split it up for you guys. I believe y'all should do that too. And then we're going to go up on top. We're going to have all these are going to be ulnars. So this is superior ulnar collateral artery. And this is the, guess what? Inferior ulnar collateral artery. So SIMR, SIMR. These are all collateral arteries. That's our first part of our mnemonic. Easy enough. We're going to go into right before the break of the ulnar artery and radial artery from the brachial artery. We're going to have a cuboidal fossa. It's a space where a lot of our stuff is going to go through. Your veins, or you have a lot of things that are going to go through here. So this is the deep layer. This is where our arteries are. Arteries are super superficial. So we're going to come down, and we're going to see. So the superior ulnar collateral artery is going to anastomote with superior. It's going to go with the posterior ulnar recurrent artery. So you have a collateral artery, and it matches with a recurrent artery, S and P. That's the posterior. And on the inside, or more medial to it, you're going to have the anterior ulnar recurrent artery, and it's anastomosed with the inferior ulnar collateral artery. So I and A are connected, S and P are connected. So PA, and then just before we get into the other two, I want to tell you all about this one. It's called a Comet and Neuroscis artery. It's a small branch, and it has just 3 things offshooting it. So it is the common interosseous artery. The interosseous arteries are very important because they supply blood to our deep muscles of our forearm and extensor muscles, deep extensor muscles as well. So we have a common interosseous artery, and the common interosseous artery will come off down here, and it'll create both the posterior interosseous artery, or anterior interosseous artery, and the posterior interosseous artery. Both extremely important, and that's coming off the common interosseous artery. These are not a part of our anastomosis. And then now part of the anastomosis again, we'll have one more interosseous. It's the interosseous recurrent artery. And then we'll have the radial recurrent artery that connects with the radial collateral artery. So the middle collateral artery connects with the interosseous recurrent artery. So pretty easy, doesn't seem too bad. And then ulnar artery supplies is already come down, and the radial artery is coming down. Nothing too bad. We literally, for a test's sake, if you remember SIMRPAIR, you can almost narrow down your answers no matter what. Anastomosis, radial collateral artery matches with the radial recurrent artery. Middle collateral artery matches with the interosseous recurrent artery. Inferior ulnar collateral artery matches with the anterior ulnar recurrent artery. Superior ulnar collateral artery matches with the posterior ulnar recurrent artery. So recurrent, collateral, recurrent. Collateral works with the blood flow, or works with gravity going down. Recurrent, it's a recurrent, goes back up. Cool, so top is collateral, bottom is recurrent. Space in the middle is cuboidal fossa. It's kind of where it splits at. It's where you'll draw your imaginary line between the collateral and the recurrent arteries. So let me teach y'all how to do a quick sketch of one of these. It makes it sometimes a little bit more simple. I will add the anterior branch here as well in the simpler drawing. It just won't be a part of the anastomosis, but awesome. Let me just go ahead and erase this for you guys. What is this? This has to be our brachial artery. And then we're going to have our first one, which is our profundus brachii, which is not a part of our anastomosis, but supplies our triceps. And this is going to have three. It's A, M, R. So the A is kind of going to be out of the way. That's only, you're going to only see that in a cadaver, and I don't want you to confuse, be like, oh, Adam only said there's two branches. There is three, but the main ones we're going to look at is the M and R. They are a part of our anastomosis. Then on this side, you're going to have 1, 2. This is your superior, this is going to be your inferior. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to have, so we already have our simmer, so S-I, and actually, there. S-I-M-R, simmer. And there's also a way you could position yourself. So I saw that it was incorrectly spelled according to mnemonic. That means my A was supposed to be actually more medial. My ascending branch was supposed to be more medial than my radial. My radial branch was supposed to be more lateral. So we're gonna have here, we're gonna have this one's gonna be our radial recurrent. This is gonna be our, so just for simplicity's sake, is our ulnar. This is our radial artery, ulnar artery. And then we have a couple of these dudes popping out, so we're gonna have one coming this way. We're gonna have two this way, and this is our, one of them's gonna be our anterior, one of them's gonna be posterior. This is our common interosseous. I'm getting into a little too much detail. You don't need to add these if you're just looking for the anastomosis. So anastomosis, you pair them. So what are these called? There's gonna be a superior ulnar collateral artery, superior ulnar collateral artery, inferior ulnar collateral artery. Don't forget the ulnar, and then inferior matches with the anterior ulnar recurrent artery. Give me a little connection there. The posterior ulnar recurrent artery is going to connect with the superior ulnar collateral artery. Our radials connects our radial collateral artery. Midline. Our radial collateral artery is going to match with our radial recurrent artery, and our interosseous recurrent artery is going to match with our medial collateral artery. So it's kind of simple, kind of not. But main thing you want to know is there's going to be two branches right off the brachial artery on the ulnar side that are going to match as the pair, the same, so P-A-I-R S-M-R, SIMR, S-I-M-R, SIMRPAIR. And you just match them up. So P goes with S, A goes to I goes to A, again, R goes to R. So pretty easy. This is a simple way you can just draw it out or sketch it real quick before the test. These are the anastomosis. Anastomosis is just where a recurrent artery and a collateral artery come back and meet up with each other. Remember, top is always going to be collateral. The bottom is always going to be recurrent. And these are the arteries or the anastomosis of the brachial artery. It seems real complicated, but once you get the names down, it becomes really simple. So on the ulnar side, they are all ulnar names. All ulnars. Good. And you know the top half are going to be your collateral ulnars, and you know the bottom half is going to be your recurrent ulnars. On the radial side, you're going to see the profundus brachii, which is not a part of anastomosis, but it branches off into three. This one was just extra added information. You don't need to add it. I'm just giving you the information in case you see it on a cadaver and you're like, whoa, what does that mean? Remember that the middle is going to be in the middle, radial will be on the outside. So your radial recurrent artery, or your radial collateral artery, is going to come down and connect with your radial recurrent artery, and your middle collateral artery is going to come down and meet with your interosseous recurrent artery because it's coming from the bottom. Brachial artery stops around the cuboidal fossa, and it branches into the ulnar nerve and radial artery. Brachial artery, where does it start? Starts after the teres major. So yeah, so remember what takeaways from the video. Anastomosis is where the collateral and recurrent arteries meet. SIMRPAIR, these are important. Top is going to be collateral arteries, bottom is going to be recurrent arteries. And these are just memorization, but it is not too hard and you will get it. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you want, shoot me an email with any questions you have or anything you might want to see in the future. Thank you guys. Easy drawing, easy points. This is just a quick sketch. I'm just going to make it a little simpler for you guys, or an extra rendition a little bit more. But really, you're just going to draw this out. So you have your S-I, SIMR, P-A-I-R, SIMRPAIR, with different colors.
That's correct. That's correct.
But they line up, so that's cool. And once you get the SIMRPAIR down, you will do awesome on the test. So easy way to draw it. If they're just asking about the anastomosis, don't worry about these. Don't worry about the main branch. Just worry about your anastomosis arteries. Thank you guys. Please tune in again.